Recording in progress.
Hello and welcome to the Emma Lovell Show. I'm so delighted today to announce to you that I am working on my second book. It's not the second book that I thought I would be working on. So my first book was The Art of Pleasure, which came out in 2024. I really thought that I would be releasing a book about retreats, which I will. It's just not this year, and it is not this book. My next book is actually a book that I'm co-authoring. I'm essentially authoring, collaborating, I don't know, what do you call it? There's a word, um, bringing it all together, but also writing. My cousin, his name is Bill Hunter, and I'm writing his memoir. The book is called A Life of Magic, and it is all about this incredible man. He is 102 years old. He's a World War II Navy veteran and he's a magician. And his life truly is magic. It has been magic. He is magic. Yeah, he's a magician. He has been a magician for more than 80 years. He learnt magic in during the war while he was hospitalized in Sydney, Australia. But he's actually from the US. So you might have seen, if you follow me on social media or have known me for a little while, I'm smiling ear to ear. So love talking about this. You might have seen that I go to the US a lot. I think I've been 16 times now, which is quite a lot if you don't work there or if you don't have family there, but I do have family there. He is my cousin, but he is my grandmother's cousin. So he's my first cousin twice removed. That means he's my father's mother's cousin. So my great grandmother and his mother were sisters. Yep. And so they are cousins, first cousins. They met, but the funny thing is that my grandmother was in the UK and Bill was born in the US. So, and then my father was born in the UK but brought me out to Australia. So that is why I'm in Australia and I'm an Australian. He is an American and our family is actually British. So we all came from England originally and all went all over the world. So yeah, we've kept a relationship over the years. My dad met him when he was young and then went to visit him a few times as an adult. And it was really in the 90s where our families, where my dad and my cousin really connected. And then he came out to visit us in Sydney, Australia in 1996. Dad says it's 96. I thought it was 95. But anyway, his memory is probably a little bit better than mine. And we will have to clarify that detail for the book. But I'll never forget this sitting in the lounge room, these two little girls, me and my sister, watching TV, and this man came up in like a Hugh Hefner style robe, red robe, and white hair. And he looked at us and he said, "Well, hello, dears. Would you like to see some magic?" And we're like, "Yes." We were like eight. I think I was 8 or 9, and my sister would have been 5 or 6. And we were just obviously dazzled from that moment. He taught us magic tricks. Me and my brother used to do little magic tricks, magic performances at our vacation care and things like that. That we really took it on. I'm still very proficient in the magic coloring book trick, and I can also do the Chinese shuffle. So he's tried to teach me many more tricks over the years, but I haven't quite got them. But the thing is, tricks aside and his wonderful magic aside, he is a magic human. And I realized this truly when in 2009 I was in Mexico and I was swine flu came, so I decided to get out of there. And I asked if I could go and stay with my cousin and my brother who were in the US at the time. And I went there and I hung out with them. And then I went to Indy 500, which my cousin Bill has been performing at the Indy 500. He performed for 50 years in the suites and for the drivers and in the pits. And he's friends with many, many famous drivers from the Indianapolis 500. And he also knows drivers from the NASCAR. He loves racing, always has. So he found himself in that world. And we couldn't believe, yeah, he's like a celebrity at this track. And we're like, okay. And Dad had been, and we're like, that's cool. But my brother loves racing. But I just thought it was amazing to see all these people that knew him so well. And just every time we went somewhere, and I spent a month in the region with him, and he lives near Chicago, Illinois. Every person I met would pull me aside and tell me how he had changed their life, or how he had done something special for them, or the first time they met him, or how he'd done this trick, or everybody had a story. And I thought, at the time he was 86, and I thought, this is so beautiful, but it's also so sad because we so often tell, we have all these wonderful memories or this love for this person, and we don't actually tell them and they never hear it. Probably the place you would hear it is at their funeral, where everybody gets together and tells all these wonderful stories about them. And I thought, that's not right. So I decided to make him a book. So 16 years ago, I started this project. And we did complete the project. We made a book. It's 111 pages, so we could honestly just print that as it is. It has been printed. So he says it's his book, and it is stories about him. And two of his friends and I, John Regan and Rick Sava, we basically stole his email and phone contact list, and we reached out to as many people as we could, and we got their stories. He's always like, oh, we didn't put this person in the book, or we didn't put this person. We're like, we did a lot. We couldn't find everyone, but we did pretty good. So we reached out to all these people, and they sent us all these stories, and I compiled it at the time, and then we presented it to him, and he loves it, and he takes it everywhere, and he's shown so many people, and he's made many, many copies. But that wasn't good enough for me. He has since made another book. He's an amazing historian of and documenter of his own life. He has so many wonderful records. He keeps letters and checks that he's received, and correspondence with employers, and all this sort of stuff. He has so much collateral. He's made folders, and he calls them books, of memories and photos and captions, and like basically scrapbooks of his life, newspaper clippings, all these amazing things that we have. This archive of history through his eyes, but also, through history. He was born in 1923, and we have all of that. And he then has gone and really in detail written his Navy days, which is one of the most special times of his life, despite that obviously World War II was awful. He was on a merchant ship, and they supplied to the naval ships. So he was in the Navy, but he wasn't on a naval vessel. But he went all around. He was in Papua New Guinea, he was in Guam, he was in like so many places in the South Pacific, and then he was in Australia, where he got sick from malaria and was in hospital. So he has very fond memories, despite the sickness. He then had, they couldn't get him on a ship, so he had to stay in Australia till they could get on a ship. So he has very fond memories anyway. I'm not going to tell you the whole book, but he has documented that so much detail. And lovely, another man, Patrick, he was wonderful. He has put that into a book and printed that. So we have that book as well. But we need the whole story. Like, this man has lived for 102 years. And for me, the magic as well is not only the fact that he's performed magic for 80 years, he performed magic on his 100th birthday. It's not that he recalls things from World War II like it was yesterday and tells stories with such vigor and hilarity that you would think that had just happened. It's just that all these wonderful people that his life has touched, and all these people that have felt his magic, that the magic is not in the tricks, the magic is in the person, and he is it. And I talk about pleasure, combining business and leisure, and he is such a role model for that. Like, he traveled with his magic, he traveled with his work, he did various different roles over the years to live the life that he wanted to live in places he wanted to live, to travel and see those that he loved. He has just lived such an extraordinary life. He's been to 42 countries and 19 states of the US. He's, I think, or is it the other way around? 19 countries and 42 states. Anyway, he's been a lot of places and done a lot of things. Um, and he's still doing it. He went to Europe when he was 100, and we met up with him, and they did a trip to Normandy to see some of the World War II sites. So he's just living some of his best moments in his senior years, and that's the beauty. So I have spent hours recording voice notes, talking to him, collecting all the collateral I could from his house, reaching out to people, getting documentation, and my job is now to bring it all together And in the book, we are going to predominantly have his voice, but I'm also going to have the voice, my voice, telling you some of the backstories or some of the, you know, like this, the fact that, hey, he's telling this story, he's 102. He's also very humble. So sometimes it's like, yeah, he told it this way, but somebody else was there and they said it like this. So we have all those other perspectives as well. So I want to bring in some of those friends and family voices so that you get a really full picture of just how remarkable this man is. And this story is really, it's a legacy piece. This book is a legacy piece. It's not, I, for all my hopes and dreams of his story being a bestseller and on the New York bestseller list, like that's not what this is about. This isn't a business exercise for me. This is a piece of family history. This is a life wish for him. This is something that he wanted. Let me see if I can play a little recording for you, actually, of him talking about the book. Yeah, so I'll play that at the end. I recorded it so that my hope is that we can turn his book into an audiobook as well. So the long and short of this is I'm writing this book, but I need help. I have created a Kickstarter. We will have the book for pre-sale on my website, my emmalovell.au website at some point, so we'll update the show notes when we have that. Most likely it will be at emmalovell.au/A Life of Magic. The book is called A Life of Magic. It is, I don't know if it's by Bill Hunter with Emma Lovell or if it's the story of Bill Hunter by Emma Lovell. We don't know. It's anyway, we're working on it together. It's very much a collaboration. I've got the designer, I've got the editor, I've got the publisher, I've got the printer, I've got it all lined up. But these things cost money and a lot of money. And it's not about making money, but at a base cost, I've run the numbers to print about 300 copies, which is what I imagine we are going to sell as a first goal to all of his wonderful people. That's going to cost 10,000 Australian dollars. So books are not cheap, and you can do an ebook or whatever. But even an ebook, it's design. You have to do the layout. You have to edit it. Editing is a big job, and it's not something I can do myself. We want this to be a quality book. We want it to be, truly a testament to him and his life. So I want to make sure we do it right, and I want to get it structurally right as well as grammatically right. So I just can't have eyes for that. So I have an editor I'll work with, and she's beautiful and ready to jump in on the project. So I'll share all about those people in future who work on the book. But what we need is your help. So Kickstarter, I will put the link in the show notes, but the Kickstarter is Bill Hunter's memoir, Bill Hunter memoir. You could look up, or A Life of Magic. So Bill Hunter memoir or A Life of Magic. At this stage, we have 17 days to go. It is, we have $2,000 pledged. People have sent him checks, so we have about another $1,000 and maybe another $500 that I know of coming. But in order to receive the money, the goal of $9,900, we do need to hit the target. So we need to get to $9,900. So if you think this is interesting, if you want to see this book come to life, we have, you can pledge $10, which is just more of a donation, and you'll get a thank you. We have, we'll also be sending that Tributes and Memories book. We'll send the e-copy of that. We have A Life of Magic, just the digital book, the ebook. So that's $20. We have the paperback, which is $30. We have the signed book, which is $50. We have a bundle of books. We have the Inner Circle, which you get a few more items. And then we have, which has been the most popular so far, a $500 contribution. You will get the Archivist Treasure. So you will get his Navy book. You will get a clippings book that he has handmade. You get, of course, the ebook. You'll get your name printed as a legacy backer. You'll get 5 copies. So that I'm also going to be sharing some of the behind the scenes interviews. So some of those actual clips, voice clips. So we have a bunch of different rewards. I'm actually going to add one more, which will be a bundle of 10 books for $300. So that includes shipping as well. Actually, no, I think we add shipping. Sorry, we do have to add shipping to the end. So these prices don't include shipping, but they're all in Australian dollars. So anyway, it's very interesting as well, executing a Kickstarter campaign for a 102-year-old. because he can't send things out like I would love him to be doing. He's not so great on the email anymore, which is, he still does FaceTime, he still texts, great on the phone, but just finding a little more challenging on the computer these days. And so I wish we could just get this out on email, and if I could just grab his phone and text everybody he knows. But it's also the challenge of getting people to understand what a Kickstarter is, and that it is essentially a pre-order. You're essentially buying the product before it comes out, which is what I did with my book. 3 months before we did a pre-sale. That's what we're doing. The book is set to come out in February 2026, ahead of his 103rd birthday. So I am working on it. We are writing. I'm meeting with the editor next month, but we do need these funds. So if you'd love to see this project come to life, I would really value your support. If it's not for you, but you just think, go you, please share the Kickstarter, please share this podcast, please share his story. He's an incredible man, and if for nothing else, please help me make his dream come true. Help me fulfill this commitment that I made 16 years ago, that I would write him a book. And we did, but I want it to be the true testament to him that it is. So, I obviously had to go on my own author journey so that I could help him with this. So would love your support. Thank you so much. Of course, I'll share the journey. You'll see me as I go along, going through this process. Very interesting, writing it for someone else. So yeah, I'll definitely share all the insides of that. And it's a memoir, so it's a different thing to what I've done before. So I did part memoir for my book, so it's definitely an interesting perspective. Anyway, let me just play this for you from Bill. So here is Mr. Bill Hunter. I always get to roll my R's when I talk to him, but this is Bill Hunter talking about his book.
Good evening. I'm Bill Hunter, a 102-year-old World War II veteran. For years, I thought about writing this book of my life, and time goes on, and all of a sudden, my darling cousin Emma from Australia prompted me to do this. She is doing most of the work, but I want to thank everybody who's mentioned in the book and all the people who are going to read it.
Thank you, Cuzzy. We love him, and I can't wait for you to see his book. So head to the Kickstarter. We'll have a page up on my website soon, emmalovell.au/a life of magic. And you can see all the links in the show notes. Thank you for listening today, and go out there and live a life that you love, potentially a life of magic as well.